today the PlayStation community is asking some questions. They are asking how and why. You see, they are asking themselves, why are the Xbox community dancing in the streets? I mean, even some Xbox guys who their foot was not working good, you know, they are in the streets right now dancing. Oops.
All right. Yeah. Yo, bust a move real quick. Bust a move. Bust a move. Ooh. I think I'm all right. Whatever came down. Move that leg. Move that leg.
Yes, these guys are wondering, why are these Xbox fans so happy? They don't understand it. You see, for the past few months, they have been spreading a very foolish and idiotic rumor that the Xbox is dead.
Goodbye, my friend. So long, pal. Bye.
So long,
Bye-bye.
old friend.
Bye.
Goodbye, old buddy.
So long, Methuselah.
And although we know that stupidity is on the rise, you know, in the turn of the new century, I mean, these ponies have to understand.
Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
I mean, he's not incorrect. He is right, because I'll tell you something. How could Xbox be a dead platform when right now any Xbox player could turn on their Xbox and see a PlayStation logo coming up on their Xbox platform?
What a way to start the morning, huh? Game is ready, game is installed, let's go. Let's see now. Let's see now.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yes, you are seen correct. A once PlayStation exclusive is on an Xbox platform. And there are even more questions that arise from this happening. Number one, why is Kojima even bothering with a dead platform? I thought the Xbox platform was dead, ponies. Could you make that make sense? Why is Kojima, after breaking free from the oppressive chains of Sony, decided the first thing he was going to do was bring this game to Xbox? It also means that this game was in, development, in the porting process for Xbox for some time now, because it's running excellent, smoother than butter. I can't believe it's not butter on the Xbox Series console. But not only that, I mean, right now there are Sony fans trying to, pull Sony away from this project. I mean, they are saying Sony didn't port this, it's 505 games. They are saying, well, the IP is not Sony owned, it belongs to Kojima. Well then, why are we seeing Sony Entertainment coming up, on the screen on this game still? If Sony has absolutely no affiliation with Death Stranding or Kojima, why are we seeing this logo coming up on an Xbox platform? Could you explain that, ponies, in the comment? These guys are in denial. Today they are asking how. How is Digital Foundry saying this about our the most powerful console in the universe?
Stable 60 FPS on a console if you spend $700 on a console. That's pretty extraordinary. I also tried out a couple other games. One other game I tried out was FF16, which ran unlocked in its performance mode most of the time, much of the time, except in combat. John covered that, obviously. Weird behavior there. I did not play too much, but Pro unfortunately does not deliver a locked 60 FPS. It's
did you hear what one of the guys from Digital Foundry said? How could you spend $700 for a console and not get a locked 60 FPS on a game? I mean, how is that even possible? They are saying that FF16 is running, below 55 or 53 frames per second. Why this most powerful console in the universe, in 100 galaxies, cannot give you guys a locked 60 FPS? How is this possible? Sony fans, could you explain yourself?
I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here.
In the 50s a lot. I think what might be happening is the dynamic res is just kicking in and it's not load balancing in a way that we would like, probably, because it does have a dynamic resolution system. So it's kind of like there's some positives here, big positives with the boost potentially. And it does apply, by the way, to all games. There's no way to turn it off. It's just always using the whole GPU. That's important to note. There's no like PS4 Pro style game enhancement might break your games. In this case, they're just applying it to all games, it seems like. I think that even though it isn't like a gigantic improvement in some titles, because of dynamic res, because of VRR and lots of titles with unlocked modes, because of the occasional odd title like Metaphor Fantasio that's just like running in a slightly messed up manner, I think that there are probably a lot of examples here, and we're probably just scratching the surface a little bit of what can be done with this. But
yes, you are seeing correctly. Final Fantasy on the PlayStation 5 Pro in frame rate mode is dropping as low as 49 frames per second. I mean, this would be completely normal if these ponies was not touting 60 frames or nothing. But today we are going to talk about Astrobot. You see, the sales recently came out for Astrobot, and according to the PlayStation community, this game is better than Mario. It's better than any platformer out there. So let's see if it's making Mario sales. Let's see if it's up there in the 9 millions, in the 10 millions, because we know right now the install base of the PlayStation console is 65 million consoles out there. So at least let's say at least 10% of those consumers would have bought this game. Let's at least that low, 10%. Let's see, right? In addition to that, we are going to see how the devs at Rockstar Games, what they are saying about their latest game, if it is able to run on the Xbox Series S, because the PlayStation community is saying it will never run on the Xbox Series S. That's what they said. Well, we'll see if that is debunked today in this video. So you know what? Let's get it!
This is a sickness!
Let's get it! Just real quick, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. You get the best Xbox content, you get the best Xbox news, and of course, we specialize in the Sony Pony Salt. So if that type of content interests you, please hit that subscribe button. Now let's get back to the video. First up, let's talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro doing 8K and 30 FPS. We know that, these ponies are happy. They are posting on Twitter that No Man's Sky is available at 8K 30 FPS. But I have one question for anyone who is promoting and even celebrating this, because I thought 30 FPS was no good. Is 30 FPS good now because it's in 8K, ponies? I mean, you guys made a big deal over Starfield being 30 FPS, over Redfall being 30 FPS. Now you cannot be celebrating a game that is 30 FPS. I mean, could you? You ain't doing that, right, ponies? I caught another pony slipping. So these guys again is proving their hypocrisy by touting now 30 FPS because it's on PlayStation 5 Pro and because it's 8K. Now all of a sudden 30 FPS is good frame rate. Hypocrites! Next up, let's talk about Astrobot. You see, for the entire year of 2024, the only major title the PlayStation community had to play was Astrobot, that came from a PlayStation studio, that is. Right? So, of course, they had to hype this game to the roof, making some erroneous statements saying that this game was better than Mario, that this game topped every single platformer, Crash, Banjo-Kazooie, whatever platformer you know of. Astrobot would have beaten it. This is what the PlayStation community said. We even had our friend Christopher Drang, that pony in the skies, inflating the numbers of the sales. But we're not going to talk about that. So one would reason that if this game is better than Mario, then it should be doing Mario numbers. So did the Astrobot make 10 million? Okay, did it make 8 million? What about 6 million? After all, there are 65 million PlayStation 5s out there. Did they sell at least 10%, 6 million or 6.5 million? Come on. No, according to the evidence, Astrobot only sold 1.5 million copies. Sony confirms 1.5. Listen. PlayStation Team Asobo platformer Astrobot has sold 1.5 million copies. Sony Interactive Entertainment shared the sales figure, which run up to November 3rd, 2024, as part of its latest financial results published on Friday. 37% of those who purchased Astrobot had not bought a first-party game in the last 2 years, Sony said. Astrobot has been critically acclaimed, earning it a score of 94 on review aggregation site Metacritic. VGC Astrobot review called it the best 3D platformer in a decade. VGC recently got the chance to visit the studio behind Astrobot, Team Asobo, for an inside look at the development of the game and the history of the franchise. So yeah, this game only sold 1.5 million copies. I mean, to put that into perspective, the Xbox game at the time, the Xbox time exclusive at the time, Hi-Fi Rush, that sold 3 million copies, according to a website called Levels. How many copies did Hi-Fi Rush sell? According to Levels, they said Hi-Fi Rush sold around 3 million copies, and they got all the information from pure Xbox game developer and VG Insights. So it's very clear that who buys games. It's very clear that everything that these ponies talk about, the Xbox fans don't buy Game Pass, stifle the sales, all that, those narratives that they love to push is not working, because the evidence is showing that Hi-Fi Rush sold a lot, although it was shadow dropped on Xbox and on Steam. But there's even another reference that points Hi-Fi Rush doing even better than Astrobot. According to Gamer Wiki, yes, they also asked the question, how many copies did Hi-Fi Rush sell? And they would have written this article in September 2024. They have a table here as to the breakdown as to how many units did Hi-Fi Rush sell, between 1 and 2 million. That's the estimates of how many persons bought Hi-Fi Rush, really showing that Game Pass did not cannibalize the sales as some ponies say, but it did do well even when it comes to units being sold. And we're not talking about just players. They did well when it comes to players, but also what was sold. The Sony community should be ashamed, because they are the one who are saying that they buy games. They are the ones who are saying that Sony would have dropped these juggernauts onto the platform. But this is what a juggernaut is doing, 1.5. I mean, bear in mind, guys, this is very embarrassing, because the PlayStation community has over 65 million consoles. So why only 1.5 million is buying these so-called bangers, these so-called AAA games? I mean, it's very shameful. Let me know what you think about Astrobot selling 1.5 million, although they have an install base of 65 million PlayStation 5s out there? Let me know in the comment sections below. And finally, let's talk about GTA6 coming to the Xbox Series consoles. So according to these ponies and some critics, they are saying Rockstar would have a very difficult time porting GTA6 to the Xbox Series S, and because of that, it would be delayed for the platform. But that is not true. Listen to the boss himself from Rockstar say what he expects would happen with the Xbox Series S version. Listen.
GTA 6 on Xbox Series S. I'm not really worried, Take-Two boss says. We find a way to support platforms despite different levels of tech. Grand Theft Auto 6 is in development for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but how will the game look and perform on the relatively less powerful Series S? We don't know for sure, but Take-Two boss Strauss Zelnick is not losing sleep over it. During Take-Two's latest earnings call, Zelnick was asked about the Series S being, by design, a lower-spec console compared to Series 10 and PS5. GTA V is expected to be a boundary-pushing game technically speaking, prompting concerns by some that it won't be a great experience on the console. Look, we support the platforms where the consumers are for as long as they're there, and we find a way to support platforms despite different levels of tech. Our labels are really good at that. I'm not really worried, Zelnick said. The executive went on to say, if one platform diminishes in value, there's always another one. So we're seeing great growth in PC right now, for example. Zelnick added that PC will continue to be more and more important for Take-Two's business going forward, saying that supporting PC isn't complicated for us. Many are wondering if GTA V will come to PC, and Zelnick's commentary here sounds like it's possible, but of course it's not confirmed yet. The bottom line is we are selective about which platforms we support. We make the tech work when we can make it work as long as the audience is big enough to make that worthwhile, he said. A former Rockstar developer claimed that if a PC edition of GTA V is coming, it won't launch alongside the console editions. This would be in keeping with tradition, as GTA 5's PC version didn't come out until April 2015, almost 2 years after the game first arrived on PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2013. The PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2 came out about a year after the game debuted on PS4 and Xbox One. For the first Red Dead, the PC edition was only just released in late October 2024, some 14 years after the game launched for Xbox 360 and PS3. The analyst's question about GTA V running on Series S came against the backdrop of ongoing commentary regarding the performance differences between the Series 10 and Series S. Quite a few game developers from across the industry have commented on the Series S console's relative lack of power and how developers needing to support this system might be doing themselves a disservice. In the case of Baldur's Gate 3, issues with the Series S edition held back the game's overall release on Xbox.
Wow, this says a lot. The mere fact that Rockstar is committed to bringing this game to the Xbox platform and also to PlayStation and not to the PC right away really shows that they really value the Xbox platform, contrary to what the narrative that these Sony fans push. It's very clear that the Xbox platform is not dead because, look, we have Rockstar is saying here what, we rather bring this to the Xbox than bring it to PC day and date, and it's very clear. So although these guys are pushing a very stupid narrative, we are seeing that games like GTA 6 would be playable on the Series S, and also it would also be day one with the PlayStation version. So let me hear what you think, what you thought about everything that was said today. I mean, we did say a lot. Let me know in the comment sections below. Let me know if it is that you are excited for these games coming out down in the comment section. So don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. I can't believe it's not butter.